Fined him $10,000, violation of a gag order alleging that the former president made disparaging comments about the staff of the judge. And Mr. Trump even had to briefly take the stand in the court today. He came face to face with longtime fixer Michael Cohen once again, testifying on his financial deals. So, boy, that sounds like quite a day in court. So with the very latest on it, let's turn to the courtroom live and NewsNation's Laura Ingle, who's there for us. So talk about what happens. They called him up to the stand, right?
Right. I mean, this was a highly unusual move, of course. I feel like saying, you know, buckle up, because here we go. We have a lot to get to. Mr. Trump just stormed out of the courtroom. We heard that he left agitated. We have a producer in the courtroom right now, kind of looking like he was fed up with what was going on. So he's not in the courtroom at this moment, from what we've been told, and he's speaking again. So we want to talk about what happened earlier. He was called to the witness stand to basically clarify some remarks that he made during the morning break. And again, there is a partial gag order in this case. He has been told in the past not to address the judge, not to make any disparaging remarks. Here's what he said at break, and we'll get to the punishment.
Very partisan judge, with a person who's very partisan sitting alongside of him, perhaps even much more partisan than he is.
So calling a very partisan judge with a person who is very partisan sitting alongside of him. Who is he referring to? Trump's lawyers say that he was referring to Michael Cohen, who has been on the witness stand yesterday and today. But of course, on the other side of the judge is the judge's law clerk, and that is where he got into hot water before. Remember, he was fined earlier in this trial $5,000 for making remarks on his Truth Social and in some emails and on his campaign website. So that was an issue that happened weeks ago. Then, after break, after lunch, the judge called Mr. Trump to the stand and said, you know, basically, who are you talking about? And let's talk about this rule that is in order. And he basically said, this is I don't believe you, and I'm going to fine you $10,000. And so with that, he went back to the defense table, and we are waiting to see what will happen next. And of course, there is still testimony going on today. Michael Cohen, his former personal attorney and fixer, talking about the financial situations that they dealt with in the past. Connell.
Never a dull moment, Laura. Laura Ingle there in court, getting more than she bargained for, covering this Trump fraud trial. And
thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.